Hi, there we are. Hi, everyone. We're here for Off the Post. I'm Courtney. We're here with the lovely Spirit Squadron. Some of them, anyways. They're quite a large group, so we got 3 of them. So we're going to be talking about Spirit Day. We'll check in with them in a second before we'll check in with our other panelists. Jen Caro, how's it going?
It's cold. I'm in Buffalo. There's snow. But other than that, pretty solid. I just ate dinner, so that's always a good thing.
Right on. All right, so I'm going to go left to right. It's on my screen. It might be a different order for you guys, but we'll go down, just say, hi, who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get started with the show. So we'll start with Angie.
Hello, I'm Angie. I am one of the drummers for the Spirit Squadron, and I like to do that sometimes at soccer games.
Right on.
Yeah.
Jen Scott.
Oh, hey, I'm Jen. I'm a member of the Spirit Squadron, and I run our website, and that's it. I got nothing.
All right, and over to Megan.
Hi, I'm Megan. I am a member of the Spirit Squadron, and I also drum, but not as well as Angie.
Right.
Don't
right
shake
now.
your head, Jen. Don't shake your head.
I'm like, I did nothing.
I was yell at her for making fun of herself in the first 2 seconds.
Sorry.
So just to let everyone know, I'll be checking the chat occasionally. We're on YouTube now, so we have a live chat. People can actually write in their questions. So we have a couple viewers already. So viewers, if you have any questions or comments to the Spirit Squadron, just write it in the chat and I will let them know. As usual, try to keep it to what we're talking about. If people ask other questions, we'll get to them if we can. But we're talking about Spirit this week. And so try to keep your questions to them. We have one already, which we'll get to as we go. But, first off, we'll just ask some questions for the squadron. So can you guys tell us a little bit about, and I'll kind of just start with someone and you all can kind of chime in as we go along. So we'll start with Megan. Can you tell us a little bit about your supporter group? Like, what are some of the things you guys do before, during, after the game? And anything you want to let us know about.
Okay. Essentially, we tailgate before games in Lot 8 if you want to come hang out with us. We play some can jam, some cornhole. Sometimes we have food. And then we all walk in together to the games. Also, sometimes at tailgates, we like to try to practice the chants a little bit. We're still in preseason right now, so we call it preseason. But yeah, so when we walk into the games, we drum in and all that stuff. And then during games, you can kind of hear us and see us for yourselves.
Great. Angie, you mentioned that you're one of the drummers, so you can tell us a little bit about what that's like during the games, as far as like the chanting and the drumming and stuff go.
We have a few different drums. I play the bass drum, so I try. I've got probably the loudest of all the drums, so I start most of the chants. I try to keep us kind of on point, and if I feel like we've been quiet for too long, I'm the one who try to keep us going and keep us singing and keep us chanting. We kind of go off script sometimes, where we just sort of jam a little bit. That's about it. It's that's the game. We've been called the Drum Ladies, and that's a title I'm actually pretty proud of.
The Drum Ladies.
You wear that one.
That's us during the game. We try to go from minute 1 to minute 90.
Plus.
Awesome. And then, Jen, do you have anything you want to add about, the game day Spirit Squadron experience?
As the only non-drummer here.
Way to go.
I think we just try to be as inclusive as we can be. If you come to the game, come sit with us. We pass out chant sheets. We really try to get everybody involved. In a perfect world, we'd have an entire stadium chanting and singing with us. I like to think we're pretty friendly. So, I would encourage everybody, if you come to the Plex, to come check us out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. I would say, as someone who has been to games both cheering for Spirit and then maybe not so much cheering for the Spirit, or being neutral, if anyone's out there watching and wanting to kind of hang. I see a lot of people ask sometimes, can we hang out with the Spirit Squadron and stuff like that? As someone who is not from the area, can vouch for them and say that they're very welcoming to people who want to kind of hang out and see what it's like and, sit with them, chant with them during the game. So that's super awesome. And we'll go in reverse order this time. Tell us something that makes you guys different from other supporter groups. We'll go start with Jen.
We help people get engaged.
This is true.
I don't know that we're really any different from any other supporters group. We all want to grow the league and make it as fan-friendly and positive for everybody, to be honest.
All right. Angie?
I mean, yeah, just to echo what Jen said, trying to think about, because I've traveled to a bunch of the different cities and I've met a lot of supporters from the different supporters groups. And I wouldn't say we're really any different than anybody else. We all, we all try to make the noise during the games. We all try to be pretty, open and inviting before the games, after the games. We try to interact on Twitter. So I wouldn't say we're really any different, just that we support the spirit when other teams support other groups support other teams.
Cool. Right on. Megan, do you have anything to add to that?
Just that this season we might be a little bit more sassy and snarky and salty, but other than that, nope, we're good. We're not that much different.
All right, we have one question coming in right now that I think is cool to ask right now, and any of you guys can answer it. Someone asked, Nina's hanging out in the chat, just wanted to know if you guys are going to be cheering during any of the preseason games. I know you guys said it's kind of present for you and trying to figure things out, but if people go to any of the preseason games, do they expect to hear you guys, or are you kind of using that time to just observe and figure some stuff out?
I mean, I think the difference with yesterday was we were sorry, we were on like a different field. So it was hard to get the drum out there because it was wet, and like we had the snare drum, but that doesn't lead the chants usually. So it was kind of hard to kind of get everything started. So we're going to have a small group there the next 2 weeks, but hopefully for the last game, we should be a little bit more loud and vocal if we're actually at the Plex.
Fair play. Yeah, I know it's kind of, sorry, Jen, you going to say something?
No, I agree with what Meg said. I think it's hard with preseason because we have people who, are coming from so far away that they're like, well, it's a preseason game. Maybe I can't get there, so it's a little more challenging, I think. But hopefully the last one.
Cool. Thanks for your question, Nina. It's hard, especially when you get kind of moved to locations and the weather's not great. So keep an eye out if you go to the next preseason games. Keep an eye and an ear out, and maybe you'll hear some little the upcoming season for the squadron. All right. So we'll kind of go down the line and just if you guys want to talk a little bit about how you thought the team performed last year. Obviously, I don't know, from looking at a perspective standings wise, they obviously performed fairly well. They were the runner-up in the league and the championship. So just a little bit of your thoughts on how you thought they did last season, starting with Megan.
I mean, at any point, I'm so proud of how they did. And I mean, we expected them to be up at the top for sure anyway. So they kind of exceeded our expectations. And it was super great just being able to watch it kind of unfold in front of your eyes, never missing a game. And so, like I said, I think they exceeded my expectations. And it was a great chemistry to watch them develop throughout the season.
All right, Jen Scott, I'll come back to Jen Carl.
Okay, I got confused with the Jen.
I know, and you're right next to each other too in the boxes. So.
I mean, I think Meg hit the nail on the head. I think they exceeded some expectations. It was certainly a fun thing to be a part of until that game in Houston that we don't speak about.
And we don't talk about that.
Sorry, I totally did.
That's okay. Yeah, I don't really have anything earth-shattering to add to what Megan said.
All right, Angie?
They were a really fun team to watch, not just because they did well, but just the brand of soccer they were playing. It was a lot of fun to watch. I think how many of their goals last year where there's they built up from the back and the entire team would touch the ball before it went into the goal. And it was they were so much fun to watch. So they, to echo what Jen and Meg were saying, they kind of exceeded my expectations with how they did standings wise. I did expect them to make the playoffs, so that wasn't too earth shattering, but yeah, they were a fun team to watch last year.
We have one of our viewers, Richard, said I've still never watched the replay from Houston, so I think he's in the same mindset as a lot of you guys are in that regard.
Don't do it.
Jen Carl, what are some of your thoughts on how the Spirit season was last year?
I don't know that they exceeded my expectations as far as standings. I had them pegged pretty high. I forget exactly what I said they were going to finish at. I think I had them actually in second, but I had, for some strange reason, in a moment of delusion, Houston winning it all. But we don't talk about that either. Yeah, I think, just kind of echoing what everybody else said, they had such a great team dynamic that it was really just entertaining to watch them all season. You could tell that they were having as much fun on the field as we were having watching them. And I think that's what made them perform so much better last year. I don't know that we'll have the same entertainment this year, but hopefully they can kind of recreate that a little bit and get those sparks flying again.
Yeah, I went to a couple games last season, and they were really fun to watch, and I really enjoyed myself at those games, and it's going to be interesting. I think overall, they were a really fun team to watch. It's going to be an interesting season. I think this may be the potentially salty part of the section coming up in the show. So sorry, everyone.
Forewarning.
Forewarning, because my next thing I want to talk about is if you guys can just talk about some of the, obviously we know, and again, I know this is where the salt's coming. There's been a lot of changes in the off season. Can you guys talk a little bit about, some of the new signings? If I think there were a couple, like a coaching change or two, and some of the rookies that are being brought to the club. By rookies, I mean, draft picks that you think will come in and make a difference and such. So that was kind of a lot. So just kind of talk about how you think some of the new players coming into the club, whether through trade or signings or draft and things like that, will impact the team this year. We'll start with Angie this time.
So they lost a lot of experience, and I think that's been well covered by every corner of the WOSO internet. But they brought in some experience. They brought in Christy Mewis, who's been in the league for 5 years. They brought in Cassie Common. Cassie, sorry. Brought in Cassie Common, who has been good she played for Casey in Boston. She's been good in both places that she's played. Those are the only real two, I want to say, veterans that they brought in. And I think both of them are going to do good for the team because they kind of bring that kind of like veteran presence that we lost when all these players lost, when we lost all those players. But player-wise, yeah, I don't know. I know there's no goalkeeper coach still because Lloyd went to Orlando, and I don't remember seeing anybody yesterday. So you could have somebody who just wasn't at the preseason game.
We have.
Is there one?
We have Nikki. I can't remember her last name.
Okay, I just missed her.
Yeah, she works with the Canadian team sometimes.
Okay, well that's good. No, that's good with LeBay. That's a plus.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what Agnew can do because I know she's been getting some looks with Canada. And she's not a rookie this year. She's in her third year. Was it Havana Salon who just came from Seattle? But I know she hasn't had a whole lot of playing time because of injury. So I'm kind of interested to see what they can bring in to the team this year. Because Salon was supposed to be that kind of I don't want to call her Kim Little prototype, but everything I've heard about her is that she's similar to that type of a player, and I think that would not be a terrible thing to have in the middle of our midfield.
Yeah, hopefully she can stay healthy this season.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, her NWSL career so far has been
just one injury after another.
So hopefully she can stay healthy. Jen Scott.
Actually, Angie talked about the two of the players I was going to mention. I think Christy Mewis, I was really excited for the way she was playing yesterday. I think she's got a lot to prove. So So I'm hopeful that she kind of comes in with a little fire in her. And I was excited to see Lindsay Agnew. I thought she was good on the ball. She's quick. And we already have a nickname for her. So she's the tall number 8. She's taken Diana Matheson's number. I'm excited to see Shayna. If Shayna, I know she's not new, but if she can kind of take that next step, she's going to have a lot of weight on her shoulders now. I think it'll be interesting to see her fitting in with the newer players.
We've had a lot of people asking about, or we had a couple people asking about Agnew, so it's good that you guys are mentioning kind of your thoughts and a player to kind of look out for, because people are curious about her. So hopefully for people who are curious, and want to know a little bit about the squadron's thoughts, they're kind of helping you out in that area. Giancarlo, your thoughts? Just going down the line.
Everyone's kind of already touched on everyone. I think my big 2 to watch are Agnew and Salon. Pending Havana Salon can stay healthy, which I think she'll be able to. She had a fairly good season when she did play, so I think she's definitely going to add to that dynamic. Jen was other Jen, my other namesake, was talking a little bit about Shayna Williams. We've got our back line, which I'll refrain from making a whole lot of comments there, but we still have like Caprice Tedesco, who is a quick defender. Shayna Williams, who is a quick forward. I think Havana Salon is going to kind of connect the 2 pieces very well as that midfielder. And Lindsay Agnew, I think, is Lindsay Agnew, I think, played very well when she played for Ohio State. And then, she's gotten a lot of looks with the Canadian team with U17s, with I think she played all the way through U20s, U23s. So I think she's going to add a lot of that dynamic as well. So those are my main 2 to watch, I think.
Getting a little click happy with this camera here today. Sorry, and I just blinded everyone too. And Megan, what are your thoughts on some of the new players who've come into the team?
I mean, everybody's already mentioned Agnew, but she bodied a couple people yesterday and was really good at shielding, so I liked that. Somebody took a ball from her and she was like, not today, and went after it, and she won the ball. And then Maggie Dougherty Howard, I think that's how you say it. She is very quick, and something that I'm looking forward to is we actually have height this season. There's a lot of new tall girls, and that's something that I think we needed. No offense to the smaller players, but like we've had a couple people score on set pieces, and I think that will be something that will kind of be solved this year because we have so many newer tall people.
Someone in the chat asked about Ariel Ship. Does anyone have any thoughts? Heads nodding.
We know that she is.
No, but you guys think that she... Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
I was impressed. I thought she was quick. Sorry, we're all like that. I thought she was quick and a hard-nosed player. I don't know a ton about her right now, to be honest, but I was impressed with her, kind of her spunk. I hate that word, but just she was like, yeah, no, I'm doing this, So I don't know if my other more intelligent colleagues can speak on that better than me.
Not about Ship. I was going to say there was a girl that subbed in for a forward yesterday, and I don't know her name, but she's a little bit smaller, but she was fast. She's a long blonde ponytail. That's all I know. But
a lot of long blonde ponytails.
Yeah, but she was getting past her defenders, and I would be really excited if she gets to play either with the team or play up from the reserves, because she was very fast and knew how to break her defenders very well. I will eventually know her name, just not right now.
Understandable. There's been a lot of turnover. It's going to take I've been to a preseason game before where the Spirit Tune was kind of like, yay, people.
You go, girl.
Go.
Yeah.
Yes. Go team.
Yep.
Go.
That was us yesterday.
Yeah. Go team. Go. So kind of like similar to that question, but just more, I guess you can now incorporate return. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think are some players in general that you think will to look out for, that you think may either have a big season or should have more of an impact this year? We talked about some new players. It could be someone maybe you forgot for new players, but returning players and things like that. Just anyone you think that's going to have a big season and a big impact for the Spirit. We'll start with Megan.
I'm really excited for Shalina to be back. I think that I'm pretty sure she may be the captain role. So if she is, she did a lot of talking yesterday. Church did a lot of talking yesterday, which I was really excited about. I have to give a shout out to Kleiner because we have a new friendship with Kleiner. But yeah, I'm excited to see her because she's very fast. If not the fastest defender. I'm really excited to watch the defense work this year. Just because there's so much new blood, and like Ange said earlier, like building from the back and just kind of getting the ball up. So I'm hoping that they can kind of get included, and I'm really excited to see Caprice back and like healthy.
We have some questions about those people that you mentioned, but I'll continue to go through them. We'll come back to them. So that's a nice little segue. Jen Carl.
I think, aside from Shalina, Tori Huster and Jill Lohman are going to take huge roles this year, kind of stepping into the leadership roles of the team, because we're obviously missing some of them now. So I think they're going to be huge in the leadership aspect. I think Whitney Church is going to step into that role a little bit too. As far as the team dynamic, we got so used to seeing Crystal Dunn and Franny Ordega tag team in that front line, and we don't have that. So it's going to be interesting to see which forward steps into that role. I'm probably looking at, Lindsay Agnew, or if Ariel Shipp does eventually sign a contract. Yeah, I don't think she has yet. Someone correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I don't think she's officially signed a contract. If she does, we may be looking at Ariel Shipp. Yeah, we may be looking at her to fill that role. It's going to be very interesting to see. It's almost like they have so much new blood to choose from that they're kind of going to be battling for those spots, and that's going to make it a really interesting season, I think.
Right on. Jen Scott?
I'm interested to see Katie Stankel. I mean, she was pretty awesome in the W League, right? I mean, how many goals did she have?
A lot.
Angie here.
A lot.
Yeah, A lot. Kleiner also, because she's tough. She's gritty. And I do think, like Jen said, I think Tori and Joe will really step up in that leadership spot. I'm, like I said before, I am hopeful. We do have a lot of new blood, and I'm hopeful that we gel, that people can get on the same page. Yeah, I'll leave it there.
Here, wait, can I jump in really fast?
Sure.
I talked to one of the players yesterday, and she said that it's definitely a new, fresh energy. So that's definitely a positive in my book.
Cool.
I did some searching, and the only thing I'm seeing about Spirit signings were Agnew and Doherty Howard. So I don't know about Shipp yet. So I just did a quick little. So hopefully, if she hasn't, hopefully soon. But anyways, Angie, players think you're going to have an impact this season.
Yeah. Just an aside real quick about Shipp. On the preseason roster release, she had a little star next to her name that she was a non-roster invitee, so she's not signed yet.
Okay.
I had Katie Stengel as one of my two kind of main players to keep an eye on. Jen talked about her, so I'll move past it. But I'm a big Katie Stengel fan. And Shayna, actually, she really picked up towards the end of the season, and I think she got hurt in the Chicago game, or she picked up a knock in the Chicago game. She didn't play too much in the playoffs, but I'm really excited to see how she. Am I echoing?
No,
Yeah.
my headset just died, so
Okay.
you're fine.
I'm just excited to see how she translates like the end of the season to the next season. Because she's got pace, and I know at least she scored her goals in different ways last year too. So I'm excited to see where she goes now. She does.
Right on. A couple of questions. Megan mentioned that, sorry, you guys are distracting me. Megan mentioned that something about Zadorsky potentially being captain. If that is the case, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I'm excited. She talks a lot on the field. Like there's an echo here too. She just brings this kind of calmness over it, I think. I know as a fan, I feel comforted seeing her on the field just because she is so dominant in her space. So I would be excited if she's a captain. I would also love to see Tori and Joe as captains.
Anyone else have any thoughts on
Agreed. Pretty much with what Meg said.
All right. And then the other question was, somebody mentioned that I guess they talked to Caprice and she said she thought she'd be back in by May and things like that. What are you guys? I don't know that how you would know this, but I don't know what your thoughts are on that. When you think that you'll end up seeing her?
I ran into her yesterday and just mentioned that we were excited to have her back, and she said that she is excited to be back as well, and that hopefully she won't miss too many games. So I think that she's training with the team, but don't quote me on that because I just know that she said that she's doing much better.
Yeah, no, like I said, that someone said that they had also spoken to her. They just kind of wanted to know what you guys' thoughts were on that as well and all that. So right on. Looking forward, what matchup are you guys looking for? Oh, I forgot to move the camera. Sorry, Meg. We're moving forward. What matchup this season are you guys looking forward to the most? Starting with Angie.
The most. I think I know the answer most people are expecting. I don't really have any particular matchup that I'm like, this is the one. Yeah, Jen, that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, I don't know. It's such a different team, and I just don't feel like, I don't know. I don't really have any. That's a cop-out, I'm sorry. But I really don't. I don't have any game that when I saw the schedule and I was like, oh, these are the teams that are coming. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. Jen Scott, got anything?
I'm really glad you went first, Angie. Looking forward to, dreading when Orlando comes because, but no, I'm not. I'm excited to see this team take the field, so I'm excited to see where we go. That'll be my answer.
Also fair, Jen Carl. As someone who maybe. Well, yeah, you might be salty too, but maybe not quite as salty. Any thoughts on the matchup?
Why would I not be as salty?
I don't know. I know you. I know you are, but like,
I feel like all of the pressure is on me to pick one now because the other two didn't.
No, I got one. So you go.
Okay. All right. We'll split it then. We'll have two that don't give an answer and two that do.
I give an answer.
I think I'm probably most excited for the Portland matchup because Portland and Washington are my top two teams. If I have to pick a team that comes after Washington, it's Portland. So I always look forward to seeing them play. I also think for me, it's going to be really interesting to see Portland, who has these huge names, who has these veteran players, go up against a team that is mostly new blood. They're this like kind of machine that's used to playing together and used to doing their thing, go up against a new-blooded, new dynamic team, and I think that's just going to be a really interesting contrast.
Yeah. And then Megan, you said you had one.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to play Boston because they've got a bunch of new really nice draft picks, and they always for some reason have our number, and I'm hoping that we just rock their socks off. and like that's all I want. I just want us to dominate Boston this year.
Sorry, there's some like
drone flying around somebody's house, or what is that?
right on. As someone who's not really like super invested, I also think it'll be. I guess I would say Boston too, probably. Or Portland. I would say Boston or Portland, just because. I agree with what Megan said about Boston, and the game between one of the games between Portland and I don't know. I just feel like Portland and Spirit always have like a really good matchup. Like it's either very feisty and fiery, or like something unexpected happens, and I think that's really cool to watch.
I actually had somebody tell me they wanted to come to the Portland game to see what Tobin did this year. So, just saying.
Right on. So some of our viewers are excited for either Boston, Orlando, and Portland. So that's good to, good to see. So finally, unless we had any more questions, last topic that I have to ask is, how do you all think that the Spirit, or how? That's not a great. Where do you think they're going to be final standings wise? The question is like, how do you think they're going to perform? But as far as, I guess, like we can talk about overall performance, and but you have to end with placing them in some sort of standing somewhere on like the table. We'll start with Megan.
I'm gonna say top 6 and be very like positive about it and give us at least top 4. I would love to see us make the playoffs and just prove everybody wrong, because I've seen so many people say we're going to be in the bottom, and I can't believe it as a fan. I won't believe it. I think they're going to do well.
Right on. Jen Carl, your thoughts?
Which one? Which Jen? All I heard was Jen. Sorry.
That's Jen.
Okay.
I am going to go with a very optimistic 4. I like the number 4. We're gonna go with that. That sounds good. Let's go with 4th.
All right, Jen Scott.
I'm gonna say 6. Yeah, I think we have too many new people. Yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm gonna say 6.
Okay, I just wanted to give you the time if you wanted to elaborate at all. But okay, Angie.
I'm going to say 5th or 6th as well, because I don't think this is a bad team this year. I think it's a lot of the players who were reserve players last year, or like towards the middle of the year when the players were away, kind of deal. And everybody said last year the Spirit have the deepest bench in the league. Anybody can be starters on any team. So these are now the players who are the starters. I just think they're missing that game changer, that like intangible, like the Crystal Dunn or even like your Krieger. It's just, I don't think they have that person now that can just sort of put them over just by like their presence and just grab them and drag them over that line. So I think they're going to be a competitive team. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. Or if they do, it'll be like a 4th place kind of finish. So I think I see them as 5th or 6th.
All right. I am gonna also go with 5th or 6th. Honestly, I agree with what a lot of you guys are saying. There's a lot of changeover. There's a lot of new faces coming in, and that is sometimes hard to have immediate results for. I don't know. I don't know if they're as bad as people think that they're going to be. I think saying 5th or 6th is fair when you look at. There's been a lot of teams who've had a lot of positive off-season moves, or successful teams who haven't really had a lot of moves. So I think that they're going to have a lot of tough competition. So that's kind of my thought there. We got one more question from folks watching real quick. Who do you guys think is going to be the Spirit's top scorer? Starting with Angie.
It's either going to be Shayna or Stengel. Just just because. I don't really have a reason why. It's going to be one of those two, though. Because Ortega, she's had full seasons already. She's proven she can score, but she's never been like the high person. So I'm going to go with Shayna probably.
Okay, Jen Scott.
I was gonna say Stengel, so I'm glad you picked Shayna, Angie.
Jen Carl.
Yep. I am going to actually separate my answer into two answers, and I'm going to say on set pieces, Stengel. And during play, I'm gonna actually, I think, give it to Joe.
She was up there last year.
Okay, Paul. Megan.
I'm going to also say Stengel, but if Chrissy Mewis was playing like she did yesterday, I'm going to get her up in the high digits because she was taking shots that nobody else was taking yesterday and they were going in. So I would be totally okay if she was a top scorer.
I don't know. We're guessing. I would like to see Stengel score a lot of goals this season. I feel like I don't think she had a bad season last season. I think that like the way she was utilized maybe like didn't always allow for her to have the best chemistry, which is understandable because like I said, you also had Crystal Dunn last season who was kind of more put up there. Matheson also was kind of put underneath at some point. So,
Is someone back, you mean?
But yeah, I would like to see.
Somebody live near an airport.
I would love to see Stengel or more. So, hopefully that is the case. But yeah, that'll pretty much, unless you guys have anything else you want to add, that'll pretty much wrap it up. We'll go to Megan for some final thoughts.
I'll say all jokes aside, like we're like I said, we're probably going to be a little bit sassier and saltier this season, and we're probably going to make a lot of jokes about a lot of players that are no longer currently here. But our main focus is the 2017 Spirit roster and the new players and the players that are here. And I think that's our main goal this year is to just let everybody know that like we're focused on this roster and how well we would like to see them do, because that's our job, is to support them through the season. And I would really love for them to succeed in the whole entire season, not just like the playoffs. I want them to be able to kind of feel comfortable coming out on the field and knowing that we have their back. And that's all.
Any other final thoughts from anyone else?
I mean, I agree with what Meg said. We make a lot of jokes about, stuff, but we are here for this team. We love the roster. We love our players. Plain and simple. We don't always have to agree with moves that are made and decisions that are made, but we will support the team that's on the field.
Yeah. So that's Spirit Squadron, everyone. I will say, I'll give a little plug. Obviously, not only are they a great group of people, I'm also friends with them. So I'm going to use that as my host privileges here to give a little plug. If anyone goes to see a game, or either they're like traveling at, I know sometimes you guys try to make it to different games, maybe Sky Blue or something like that, or elsewhere, I don't know, but if you get a chance to just like say hi at a game, you just stop by a tailgate and just say hello, or maybe you're kind of like, I maybe want to sit with the Spirit Squadron and I'm not sure. Don't at least say hi. I've sat with them for a lot of games, both home and away, and it's a lot of fun. And it's really nice to see in general a lot of the supporter groups really stepping up their game. I think you guys are definitely up there. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for all like the time and effort you guys put into everything. And for joining us on our Washington Spirit preview. It's good to have you guys. And for anyone out there, check them out on Twitter and such. And yeah, so everyone just give a little wave. Is how we always end the show, with a little wave.
Thanks
you all for watching. Yeah, thank you all for watching. We had some really good questions tonight, and we will be back on Tuesday. Off the post, we'll be back Tuesday for, I believe, a Seattle Reign preview. So check us out then. Thanks again, and have a good night.